Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to recap my visit to the Riverside Meet in Chattanooga, Tennessee that I went to in March of 2021. And during this video, I want to cover a few things. Just want to talk through some of the general feel of the meet, talk through some of the major themes that I saw at the meet, and then at the end, kind of summarize and answer the question, should you go visit the Riverside Meet? And I believe this year's meet is in April 2022. I don't have the exact date of the meet. If this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. And please consider subscribing and liking the video. If you visited before and you have come back to check out more of my content, well, thank you very much for coming back, and please consider liking the video as well. So in 2019, some friends and I had made plans to visit the Riverside Meet with the expectation that of not really knowing what to expect. None of us had ever visited this Meet. I've lived in Atlanta for well over 14 years and never heard of the meet. And my friends lived in New York City and Virginia. They have heard about it, but had never visited. So we made plans to visit for the year 2020. We went ahead and booked hotel rooms, made travel plans, and then before you know it, we had lockdowns, etc., and couldn't attend the meet. The hotels were kind enough to give us back our money. So the first time after that the meet was held was in 2021, and I attended this meet on my own. I drove up from Atlanta all the way to Chattanooga. It wasn't that long of a drive. I would say from where I live to Riverside, where the meet is being held at the First Horizon Pavilion in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Maybe it took about an hour and a half, 2 hours. So the first impression with the meet was there were quite a few people showing up. I think a lot of people had pent-up energy from being on lockdown and not being able to go to car shows and not being able to attend all these different activities. So there were quite a few people here. A lot of people were wearing masks and all that stuff, but social distancing, that was out the window. Everyone was out, willing to look at cars, meet up with their friends, mingle, and just try to get back to their normal life. Let me talk through some of the major themes, things that I saw at the show that kind of resonated with me. There were American domestic cars at the show, but for the most part, I would say the majority of the show consisted of imports. And when I mean imports, I mean mostly imports from like Japan. There were a lot of right-hand drive cars, the Nissan Presidents, Toyota Cressidas. There were a lot of JDM cars. There were some German cars, there were BMWs and Porsche, of course, and I did see some pictures of Porsche earlier on in the video, but predominantly most of the cars throughout JDM cars. The other theme that we kind of saw at the show was a lot of the cars had air ride. A lot of them were on bags, so to speak, and the setup, ranged from pretty aggressive to pretty mild. But yes, there were a lot of stance cars as well, cars, coilovers or lowering springs. But for the most part, a lot of the cars that we saw at the show were pretty much bagged and on air ride. And there were quite a variety of cars with this setup. The other theme that I kind of saw were the wheel setup for a lot of these cars. A lot of deep dish wheels and a lot of chrome. quite a few cars with colored wheels, like having pink or white or black. I didn't see that many black wheels really, but a lot of chrome on the cars throughout the venue, whether they were domestic or imports. A lot of the cars really had good wheel design, very shiny hardware on the wheels, and I'm someone who kind of, for a while, I really didn't care for chrome, but I think just seeing a lot of these cars with their chrome wheels and their stance and everything, it kind of got me interested back in chrome all over again. There were bronze wheels, but not so much. There were some bronze. There were guys who had white painted wheels, but again, predominantly the theme was chrome wheels. Another theme that I saw at this show had to do with car color, and there were a lot of brightly colored cars that had either like red or pink. There were blues. There were a lot of blue cars. Predominantly on the BMWs, they were pretty blue. This VW, I believe it's like a Jetta or Passat. This had like a kiwi colored green to it. I don't know if it was a wrap or if it was plasti dipped, but that was a really nice subtle color, not too jarring on the eyes. But yeah, the colors, these guys weren't afraid to put colors on their car. And for the most part, all of the colors really worked. And yeah, a lot of the BMWs had, like blue or maybe like some off color that to me looked like a wrap. It could have been like a specialty paint color or whatever. This Lexus had a really nice blue as well, similar to this BMW with the white wheels. The wheel design on the BMW, it would have, I think having chrome wheels with that blue would have really popped. But overall, a lot of really, really nice colors on the cars. There was a section of cars that were lifted and, more on the off-road theme, but there weren't that many. There was also a section of cars that were lowered, and I assume these cars had bags. I couldn't see like a tank set up in the back. Maybe they were well hidden within the car, but I really couldn't see a tank setup. These things were literally sitting on the frame, on the ground, really aggressive stance, very big chrome wheels or very fancy colored wheels, what I would call jewelry. This particular truck, the wheels alone were just so eye-catching. Going into the arena, I mean, when I entered first, I came in through the arena, went out to the back, walked around the parking lot.
Why the antique plates on the back?
Because it's an antique.
What year is it?
92.
Okay.
Yeah, and in Virginia, if it's antique, you don't have to have inspections.
Oh.
Or property taxes or registration fees.
Slight little loophole, I guess.
Yeah.
So what have you done to it?
A lot. I've done, the engine's been out twice, refreshed the engine, painted everything, zinc plated a bunch of hardware.
The paint looks really, really clean.
Yeah, it's original paint except for the hard top, the trunk, and the rear bumper.
Okay. Now, is it boosted in any way?
No.
It's not?
It's all stock.
Okay. I
headers.
just saw a little indentation in the hood right there.
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I did the whole interior myself.
So are you the original owner or you bought it?
No, I'm the third owner.
Yeah, the third
But
owner.
I've had it for about 8 years.
Okay,
A little
cool.
over 8 years.
All right, cool. I like your interior. What have you done on the inside?
So I did the leather seats, I did the headliner door cards, the center armrest. It's a second generation steering wheel, OEM Nardi wheel.
I like the tufted look on the leather.
Yeah,
Really cool.
yeah.
Really nice. And you went with a tradition. What is that? A short shifter? Or?
No, that's the original shifter.
Okay.
It's the original radio. I have a bunch of cassettes I listen to.
Okay.
The stainless HVAC panel. The gauge cluster is all handmade.
Oh wow.
Not by me, but handmade.
Okay. All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, man.
Thanks.
For sure.
Take care.
Yeah, so in addition to themes, one of the things I noticed is these guys loved talking about their cars. You can basically walk up to anyone and just say, yo, dude, tell me about your car. What did you do to your car? And without prompting, they would just talk to you nonstop, you know. And for the most part, it was very informative, just listening to the passion of these guys, you know, talking about the things they've done, the money they've spent, you know, and presenting their cars for the car show. After talking to a lot of the guys, I went out back to the parking lot where I parked. So let me just kind of tell you, you park first if you weren't admitted into the show. I assume you have to be admitted to park in either inside the building or in the parking area around. But for the most part, there's a paid parking lot across the street within walking distance of the arena. And this is a show all of in itself. You see everything. You see everything from the Acura Integra, current version, previous version. You see cars with car wraps of all different assortments. This Lexus was beautiful. That combination of like a cocoa brown wrap with the gold wheels, spot on. And then who cannot appreciate a Miata that is slammed with a huge wing hanging off the back of it? The only thing he didn't do was he did not have his pop-up lights on, so I take off points for that. But yeah, if you have a Miata, an NA Miata, and you don't have the headlights up, what's wrong with you, dude? My favorite brand, Volvo, Maserati, I mean, they were well represented. I drove my Volvo up there, my Volvo C30. I didn't meet a lot of these guys. I just saw their cars parked. At one point, I did see one guy driving out with his car and just gave him, oh yeah, here he is. I saw him on his way out, gave him a card for our car club. It's called Sweet Squad, and we're located in pretty much in the southeast, and it's a, you know, all Volvo and Saab owners. You know, we go to car meets, etc. After mingling in the parking lot, we went across the street, just looking at the cars leaving the show. You know, just checking out cars coming in, leaving, etc.
Just gonna tear that bumper off. Oh, he made it. He's on air.
That's a Saturn too.
Whoa!
So I don't think my video can really do justice, you know, for the quality of cars, the quantity of cars that showed up at the event in Chattanooga at the Riverside Meet. If you've never had the opportunity to go, I think it's well worth the visit. It would be best if you go with some friends so you guys can, you know, explore the Chattanooga area after. There are a lot of bars and fancy restaurants and the riverfront and a lot of things to do in Chattanooga. So I strongly recommend it. I mean, for me, it was just a quick drive up. I took Highway 75 north, and then coming back was pretty easy as well.
Dude, the side skirts are off as well. The side skirts came off as well. Yeah.
They need to put like a
will I go again this year? I may have some commitments this year, but if things fall through, sure, I'll check it out again. So anyway, thanks for checking out the video, and please continue to support the content. Please subscribe and like the video, and see you on the next one. Peace.